Today is a milestone episode. Hi, I'm Connie Vandeman Jeffrey, and this is All God's People, the 300th episode. Little did we dream on May 19, 2017, when we began sharing our weekly video roundup of news and inspiration from across the Pacific Union, that we'd be here 300 episodes later, with more incredible stories from our schools and churches and institutions and members than ever. But 7 years, 8 seasons, and 300 episodes later, we've brought you over 900 stories of how God is working in the lives of students, teachers, ministries, local churches, pastors, and members all across the Pacific Southwest. It's been such a joy to be able to tell these stories. It started over lunch one day in early 2017 when Ray Tates, Director of Communication and Community Engagement for the Union, shared a vision for a short weekly online video. It was going to be called All God's People, he said, and I was intrigued and very interested in what he described to me. The weekly part of it was daunting, but very quickly it became clear that it was a team effort, and once we committed, we were off and running. From the very start, our Pacific Union Conference administration has been so supportive and personally involved in getting this program underway and well established. We are so grateful to Elder Ricardo Graham, who was president of the Union when we began in 2017, and to Elder Bradford Newton, our current president, who is so involved and supportive of our production efforts. I remember the 100th episode, then the 150th, 200th, and 275th episodes. We tried to mark each milestone with something special. And near the beginning of our 4th season in 2020, the pandemic shut down our in-studio production. By the very next week, we had adjusted, and I began shooting from home. Writing, recording videos on my laptop, running my own teleprompter, and then sending the completed files to our videographer. Well, it stretched me in ways I didn't know I had the capacity to stretch. But what kept us all going and excited about reporting were the amazing stories of the resilience and faith and creativity of pastors and teachers, members and students. Nothing showcased human resiliency like the pandemic, and even while schools and churches closed their doors, the stories came pouring in of drive-by greetings, remote graduations, and creative online ministries. We have had the privilege of sharing stories from across a territory of 220,000 members who live and worship in 5 states and 7 local conferences, sharing in grief and loss, celebrating rebirth and healing, and encompassing everything in between. We have covered nurture and outreach, unique worship services, innovative evangelism strategies, social justice issues, women's ordination, and religious liberty. We've featured feeding and shelter programs, outdoor kindergarten classes, student leadership conferences, and members celebrating milestone 100th birthdays. We've celebrated Mother's Days and Father's Days together. We've brought you camp meeting reports and covered Pathfinder camporees. We've celebrated Memorial Day and the 4th of July and Thanksgiving with you. We've brought you special songs and poems and inspiration at Christmas and Easter. We've kept you informed about the business of the church with reports from NAD year-end meetings, general conference sessions, and local conference constituency meetings. We've shared heartbreaking stories of tragedy, resilience, and hope, including the fire that destroyed Redwood Adventist Academy in 2017, the campfire that so devastated the communities around Paradise, California in November 2018, and the Maui fire in August 2023. We've marked the passing of beloved giants in the faith, Del Delker, Bailey Gillespie, healthcare pioneers like Drs. Coggin, Wareham, Slater, and Bailey, Elder Dan Jackson, and more. And through it all God's people have demonstrated their love and compassion, their faith and their hope. What began as a weekly program is now bi-weekly as we look to expand our media offerings in the future. For me personally, I have been humbled and honored for the opportunity to share these stories with you. My own faith has been deepened, my horizons stretched, and my belief that we really don't have anything to fear for the future is stronger than ever. For 300 programs, we've begun each episode with heartfelt gratitude and enthusiasm for all God's people and for the work God is doing in the Pacific Union. I hope our stories reflect that appreciation. For all God's people, I'm Connie Vandeman Jeffrey.